Good evening, I'm DK Ronster. Welcome back to the TTT News. Now, some people look at or experience a situation and they see a problem. Some people see an opportunity. At the end of this conversation, they'll let me know which one is which with regard to these individuals that we're speaking with, right? Now, we are speaking with Kanahee Baptiste as well as her mother, Karika Douglas. And we want to thank you for making the time, ladies. How are you?
Hi, and thank you for having us, DK. Thanks very much.
It is our pleasure. Now, Kanahee, I want to start with you, thank you, because it seems as though there was something that was happening during this pandemic and you wanted to see something a little different. So what's that situation? Lay it out for me.
Well, the situation is I started to realize that all my masks were feeling very uncomfortable and I wasn't able to breathe properly in them. So I decided to make up a business that will offer masks that can protect children and also be very soft around the face and breathable.
So, mommy, is this the first time that, no, Karika, I'm going to call him mommy from time to time. Huh? You don't look
No
it,
problem.
but in terms of when Kanahee told you about this idea, what did you tell her?
But I sat with her. I said, "Can I? That's a really good idea because even when I work a lot, we see a lot of kids coming in and they don't have on any mask or they're wearing the mask incorrectly. Even on the streets, we're seeing parents having their kids without masks because the children are so uncomfortable." And I said, "Can I? That's an excellent idea. We're gonna go with it."
No, Kanahee is one thing to have an idea, but in terms of saying, okay, moving from this idea and ending up with the mask, what are some of the things that you had to do?
Well, some of the things that I had to do to reach this thing was I started to order different masks. And then when I realized that they were very soft and they were a variety, so I decided since these masks are really soft and comfortable, then I said other children need this, so I decided to start on my business.
I like that. Other children need this. So you saw that opportunity. And is there a specific place that you got the mask from? Were they the colors that you wanted? And what is that like?
Yes, uh, yes, they were the colors that I wanted. Pink and black. Yes, those are the original colors that I wanted. Pinks for girls or boys, and black the same. So yes, they were the colors I wanted, and from the place I wanted to come from.
Did this take up any time from school? How was that?
Say this again.
Did you have to take time away from school to get to start up this business?
No.
And that was a kind of trick question to see what mommy would be saying about that as well, huh?
Of course. So I can interject. That's fine.
Yes, please.
Yes, so there was a lot of planning involved. And not only myself, but my sister as well. She has played an integral part in this, balancing her because I work secularly as well. So she would have been behind this as well, making sure that Kanai's academics do not dwindle amidst all of this. So we'd have prioritized, set time aside, schoolwork time, and our time and the time for her business. Her grandmother as well played a part in this. Actually, her grandmother's place of business is where persons would come and collect their stuff. We even have situations where we may have to do drop off for certain individuals. So we all worked as a team for Kanai's benefit.
Now, Karika, feel very free to call Granny business so people know where to go, huh?
Oh, say Annie Sweetan on the Scarborough Esplanade, booth 12B.
To play with all, yeah. No, and I want to go back and have you interject even more. Because it's one thing to say, okay, well, this is a good idea, but saying, okay, well, I wonder if my child is ready for this. Is this kind of conversations, do you all have conversations like this regularly in terms like what might be a good business idea, what might make sense, how can you make a difference?
Yes, yes, yes. DK, the thing is, me being an entrepreneur myself, I see the need for persons to be self-sufficient. I think that it's important that as parents, we still in our children that mentality of being self-sufficient. Yes, a government job is good, and we're thankful when we do have a government job, but sometimes that doesn't always work out for everyone. So having a business comes in. In addition to that, having a business also teaches children, including Kanahee as well, to be responsible. It also teaches them to manage their finances. And in little ways, now she's only 10 years old, and so I need to also balance it, make sure that it's age appropriate, that I don't pressure her too much. So there's always a need for me as a mommy as well, not to pressure her too much. Always remember that she needs recreation. Balancing that as I train her in those aspects, and she's doing quite well.
What are some of the ways? Mommy said that it helps you become a little more responsible. Do you see some of those ways, or what are some of those ways that you have to be a little more responsible because you have your own business?
Well, the ways I can be responsible is because that I have to manage my finances well. I cannot be losing my money all over the place. I have to have it in a specific place to make sure it's safe. And that's why I even have my accounts that my mom helps me make. So I can put all my savings there. And yes, and to also be on time for my customers for being late and they asking where I am. I need to always be there when they want something.
They say all your savings to make it, not even sweetie money saving.
Say that he didn't.
So you're not,
He
you
didn't
say,
hear you.
oh, you're not even getting sweetie money. Or you're putting back everything back into the business.
Oh yes, I will spend some money on sweets, but not all of it.
And I think
I'll
that's one
have
of the
to
things
save
that,
some.
sorry, and that's was one of the things that you were speaking about, Karika, in terms of like getting a little more responsible, looking at how to balance your money, and at the same time, all work and no play is not necessarily an ideal situation.
That's right. That's right.
I hear somebody say amen. But in terms of moving forward though, do you think it's easier for Kanahee to have that kind of influence because she can look at you and say, hey, my mommy is a boss too, you know?
And it really does have that impact on her. She says, Mommy, because you have your own business, I want to have my own business. I think that was also the drive as well in this whole mask thing and seeing the niche because children do not have comfortable masks. We see it all the time. DK, I'm sure that you could testify to that as well. So, that was the drive. That was the drive in this pandemic, ensuring that the kids as well are comfortable, but it's safe as well because we know COVID isn't very nice and it targets anybody. So, yes, that was the drive.
And sometimes you see people wearing some masks, or you see children wearing some masks, and it's because they ring by the ear so that it comes a little closer to the face. Sometimes you see the top of the mask here, they're almost tripping because they
Yeah.
can't see where they're going. But but I'm very glad that this is something that you all have come up with and there's an idea that's moving forward because they say good intentions is one thing, but the road to hell could be paved with good intentions. So moving from that idea to the actuality. But what are some of the things that people have told you about the mask so far, Kanahee?
Well, some things that the people have been telling me is that it's very comfortable. That's one, and the color choices are really nice.
And on that point, we take a little break because we're speaking with Kanahee Baptiste and Karika Douglas about, and we didn't even talk about the name of the business, but it is Playing Safe with Nahi, and we'll actually talk about how you came up with that name when we return. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are Playing Safe with Nahi, where we have Kanahee Baptiste and her mother, Karika Douglas, speaking about the opportunity that Kanahee saw to seize that moment and saying, okay, well, this is something that I can do, not just to help people, but also to start on my entrepreneurship career. Now, why that name, Kanahee? Playing Safe with Nahi. Why did you decide, okay, well, this is the name that I want to choose for my business?
For children to play safe. And also the colors were very fun and outgoing and energetic. And the masks were also not too tight, but it was fitted so that you will be safe, nothing dropping off, it's too big or anything like that.
Right? And I just love what I'm seeing on your face, Karika, because I just seeing that piece of pride, and a mother's pride in her child is one of the nicest things that you can experience. So when you hear her, okay, well, this is the idea, but you also hear her speaking about her product, what's going through your mind?
I'm proud. In one word, in one phrase, I am proud. Because she also understands what is happening with the pandemic. She understands safety as a priority. She understands that not only are adults, they need the mask, but she also recognizing that even children as well as herself also needs to be safe. Even when they're playing in the park, you have on your mask. It's that comfortable that you can play with the mask on. So you're playing safe. You know that kind of catchy phrase, you're playing, but you're playing safe amidst the pandemic with Kanahee.
And I tell you, the song's playing and no fun and games thing, huh? With regard to the pandemic and how it is we need to treat with it. And I think that level of comfort is so important because when it's comfortable, you allow it to stay on your face, as opposed to every minute you pull, or you fix, and that allows things that you might not want to get in, including dirt and germs, to get to that mask because you keep on adjusting it.
That's right.
So in that product research though, did you kind of drill it through to Kanahee that, okay, well, it's important that you get the materials. I know you want your colors, but in terms of getting your materials, making sure that the fit is right, what was that process like, Karika?
Well, it had to start with her first. So it wasn't a matter of just getting it out there to persons, children. It was important that, first of all, she wears the mask. She's comfortable with it. She can play with the mask. It has enough elasticity that it can adjust to the face properly without suffocating the children. So she wore it and it fit her well. We would have sold it to others. They would have worn it. Say it again. Yes, we would have sold it to her best friend as well. She would have worn it and given her reviews that it's very comfortable. So we say, yes, we're going the right path. And we have continued on that path. And the reviews has nothing but good reviews that we have received.
And I like that, Kanahee, because being able to sell to a stranger is one thing. You mightn't see them again, and you just, yeah, man, so they just chat it up to a bad buy. But when you're able to sell to your best friend, and they remain your best friend because the mask fitting, I think you're doing something well. But how if somebody wanted to get some masks for themselves or for their children, how do they contact Playing Safe with Nahi?
Well, they will contact my mom at 4938105, or they can send it at my Gmail at Kanahee Baptiste at gmail.com.
I like her just rolling off. What you reminding her, mommy?
Don't forget, take Granny.
Oh, yeah, my granny's phone number too.
494-1851. It just slipped out of my mind.
494-1892?
1851. 494-1851.
All right, so we'll talk about the... Yes, sorry?
At Annie's Sweetheart, Boo 12B.
No. You have plans to do any other colors, or are the pink and black good for now?
Yes, I have plans. I have plans for the future of my business. I would like to have more different colors for kind of like blue, purple, yellow, green, any color that any child like outlaw style to make prints on my mask, like SpongeBob hats, not only my logo, but fun stuff. Of course, I'll have my plain mask, people who don't want those designs, but I'll still have my section of plain and design. And also, I would like to make hand sanitizers.
And with that leads me to the question, what else? Because the pandemic is one thing, and we're hoping that with proper management, we can start to see the back of the pandemic in a shorter time as possible. But what do you want to do further in life, Kanahee?
What I want to do further and I accept my business is that I don't really know it yet, but I'll think about it.
But that's
So
a
we're
good
still
place.
brainstorming through this.
But that's a good place to be, because sometimes when you don't know, it allows you to experiment and play and have fun and say, okay, I like this, or no, I don't like this. And because you find what you like, not necessarily being that focused on any specific thing, you're able to go through and have different experiences, and that makes you a more holistic person.
Yeah.
So are some of your other friends, Kanahee, thinking, okay, well, what business can I have? Are you influencing them like that?
Yes, my best friend, as I said, she's also starting up her own technology business.
And what are you hearing from other parents, Karika, in terms of like saying, girl, that mask really fitting well, or what kind of feedback are you getting like that?
Excellent feedback. Actually, the customer picks that you have up, is a parent who really had excellent feedback. She said, Karika, the kids, it's fitting well. They're comfortable. And for me, the main thing about this whole mask wearing thing is to ensure that the kids are comfortable, and that's the feedback I'm getting. It is comfortable, it is not tight around the ears, and the children could breathe properly in it. They can have on their mask right through. Actually, I saw her daughter with her friends, and she had on her mask right through the entire thing, even though the other kids there weren't wearing their mask very well. But she had on hers, and I felt so proud.
And once again, we hear that feeling of pride coming through. But when you were testing to see that, okay, well, is it fitting or is it not fitting? Did the first one come out perfect?
Perfect. Perfect. Surprisingly, from the time can I put on the mask, I said, can I, this is it, you can breathe? She said, Mommy, yes. It comfortable by ears, it's squeezing here. Mommy, no. She had on the mask right through. We went out for a drive, she had the mask on. That mask did not come up. Sometimes she reach home in the house and the mask still on her face. Can I? The mask still on your face? Oh, because Mommy, I forget. That's it for me.
Because, well, that's a home run in one. I've hit it for 6. But
Yes.
is that your experience with other things in business? And what have you told her, even about like making mistakes sometimes, but being an entrepreneur, meaning that you're learning from some of those experiences?
Yes. So it does for me personally, that has not always been it. Sometimes they start a business. The response you get from persons initially may not be exactly what you want. Maybe you might think that I would have thought persons may have been more receptive. You may have, and that's for me personally, initially with my business. You're thinking, I thought at first, I thought persons may have been more receptive, business would have been booming. But then the mindset is not to give up. One, and also how you present. Also, your customer service is also very important. How you deal with your customers, how you deal with people, how they respond to you should never determine how you react to them. It should always be at 100% you give out all the time. So their negative response should never impact negatively on how you respond to your customers. So I've instilled that in her. Be pleasant at all times. Can I?
And we're getting that vibe right now. But how far do you all deliver, mommy?
So far, most persons would have picked up at the Scarborough Esplanade Route 12B. In addition to that, I would have done deliveries. Everybody who would have purchased masks would have been within the Scarborough to Crown Point vicinity. Fortunately, nobody would have asked to go quite to the countryside to deliver stuff. So even in Trinidad as well, we would TT post to persons in Trinidad. So that's fine as well. We TT post to them. So that has been the situation currently.
All right, so we have 20 seconds, and the last words are yours, Kanahee. Anything you want to say about your mass or the experience so far?
Yes. The feedback is amazing, and that I really hope that I can do my math business as long as I am young as possible. I just want to continue doing my math all the time.
I like that. You're showing off on people. And we're looking for big things in the future because you're shining brightly right now. Thank you very much, Kanahee. Thank you very much, Karika, for giving her that impetus and letting us say, okay, well, mommy doing it, I could do it too. And we want to thank you for being a part of this. I'm DK Rossa. Thank you for joining us on behalf of the entire news team. Have a good night.